Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new standards of excellence.
Yes.
Say yes to engaging reportage with a difference.
Yes.
Introducing Yes International Magazine.
What were your biggest challenges, back then, as a female editor?
I would say my biggest challenge was starting a family very early in my career. It was not easy at all.
How old
marriage.
Had a family?
I started a family at about 23.
Okay.
At 20. And my guy then was not quite understanding, of the whole thing. And they had, outside influence came in. Why would your wife be at the Coliseum, for example, at night while you're sleeping at home? Why would your wife spend 3 days in the office without coming home? Who cooks your food and all of that? So I had a lot of issues in that marriage. And if you remember, I had issues too with making babies at the time. So it was very, very difficult for me. But at a point, I decided to just pour everything, all my frustrations, all my anger, and all my disappointments into my job. So I put everything there, and despite everything that was going on at home, including physical abuse, which was a lot, not many people saw that in my face. I just plunged myself into my job and continued until I was able to get out of that situation.
Okay. Now that you've talked about, I think if my memory serves me right, I think it was Mr. Jemegbe or something. Do you have...
He's a good man.
Yeah.
It's a great man. Yeah. It's a great man. He's a good man. There's nothing... I think what happened was a lot of frustration also from his own, he had a lot of people talking to him. He had a lot of things going on in his head, Okay, he was young too, like me, and a lot of things happened. I don't put any blame on him at all. Two people share the blame.
Do you have you got any regrets about the...
Oh, no. Yeah, we all regret things now. We regret, like, if I was wiser, if I was maybe a bit more, a lot of things come to your mind. But then I do not regret the union at all.
Okay.
I do not regret that I met that person. I regret that we went through what we went through, but I do not regret that I met him. Neither do I regret that it fizzled. Some very beautiful things came out of that relationship. My daughter, number one.
Okay.
Very, very beautiful girl, very intelligent and all of that. And I mean, this guy is still my friend. We're not...
Okay.
We're not enemies. We talk with you.
Now, with the experience that you garnered, from that union or that marriage, what would be your advice to other women? When a woman has a larger than life image, and the person is getting married to, let's say, a man who hasn't got that, like we used to say in Encomium when I was the editor, we had categories of celebrities. Back then we had the A-listers, B-listers, C-listers, and co. Yeah. What would be your advice to any woman who has a larger than life image and is going into a marriage with a man who, well, is okay, he can play his role as a man and everything, but he hasn't got that name,
confidence.
Yeah. what would be your advice to such people?
Most men don't have the confidence, really. I think it's the men I should be advising, not the women. Because what will the woman do?
Please go ahead.
It's the men. Yeah, when your wife has that kind of image, and maybe you are always in the shadow. People see you are in the shadow. But when you're at home, you know you are not in the shadow. You know you are the head of the home. Do you know that you command this woman when you are home? Because me, I like my husband to be tough. I like my husband to be that person who is a man in the house. I'm not the man. You know that, yes, the home front is different. The outside is different. So give your wife the room to excel, the room to shine, the room to breathe. You can always be in the background, or you can create your own self. I've seen men who do that. People think, okay, they are under the shadow of their own space, especially with the social media now. You know, so you should not listen to people, especially friends that are beneath you or beneath your wife. You know, when people are really beneath somebody, I'm sorry to use the word beneath a human being. I mean, in status. You know, when somebody is beneath somebody in status, sometimes he feels threatened by that person, and he feels, okay, maybe my friend's wife is huge, and that makes my friend maybe a little bit better than me. You know, and he begins to poison your mind against your wife. That happens a lot. They tell you a lot of things. I saw in this place. Don't just pay a heed. Don't listen, and don't keep such a friend. You know, put your wife as number one at all times, and give her the desire, the praise when she gets home. Make her feel loved. You know, some men too, when you come home, that's when they give you all the stress. After you have worked all day outside, you come home, you face another stress because this man feels threatened. He has some kind of inferiority complex, because the only thing that will make a man hit a woman is inferiority complex. You know, you feel this woman is better than you in some way. That's why you want to bring her down by hitting her, by diminishing her self-esteem. You know, so try not to do any of that.
All right.